YouTube. Quick video. Never going to be a quick video, is it? So I dug this out because of my my new Rose Morris Marauder, and this does still have the Avon Rose Morris Japan top on it. I've done lots of videos on this guitar bass. It's got a story. I bought it for 20 quid in the bars about 20 years ago. At the time I was playing an Epiphone EBO live, and I saw this and I thought, quite fancy. It didn't have a bridge and stuff. I was like, I'll quite fancy, I'll maybe smash that up. It's only 20 quid. So I told the guy in the bars, and he was like, no. It's 40 quid. 40 quid. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. And I went back the next week and I was like, I'm interested in the Avon bass there, 20 quid. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to sell it to you because some guy last week was in asking and he wanted to smash it up on stage. And I was like, haha. Yeah, so it did get a lot of so it was an EBO. I put a P-bass bridge on it. It was alright. To be honest, it's actually a hell of a lot closer to the Gibson EBO than what the Epiphone one is. Like, way closer. I do have. I'm going over to Scott this afternoon. I'm going to talk to him about this. But I think there seems to be two different types of Avon Rose Morris. This one, the badge says Avon Rose Morris Japan, right? Whereas, which I bought yesterday I took it as a sign from God. I saw this in a charity shop. Avon Rose Morris, more foreign, made in Japan. This has got really low action on it. Yeah. I think there's differences because I converted this. This I made a double neck out of a kitchen worktop, and when I say kitchen worktop, I mean a proper chipboard kitchen worktop with a jigsaw. I used this neck, made it drew around my SG, used this neck. I can't remember what the guitar neck was. It was a bass neck guitar, double neck thing. So it was on that for a while, and then I had it. In fact, it was still built, and I still had the body, and I put a Yamaha 24 fretless bass neck on it, hacked away. I mean, idiot. The thing is that this would have been a really nice EBO had I not. And the reason for this scratch plate is in behind here is a total mess because I had all sorts of pickups and stuff in it. I definitely at least had the original EBO pickup and a humbucker on either side of it. So now I did this up, I don't know, not that long ago, a couple of years ago. So it's now got this big massive scratch plate, just made out of a checker plate, two P90s. It's got two outputs because it had two outputs when it used to have a bass pickup in. So it does actually do stereo. You can put one pickup through one amp and one pickup through the other. Just now it's in mono mode, so this is a phase switch and this is stereo mode. Two volume, two tones. Don't want to talk about it too much. I'm playing through just the guitar amp. Can we bother plugging it into the bass amp? I'll maybe do that later. I don't know. I don't really want this to be more than 10 minutes long. But this is basically this is a baritone. Got baritone strings on it, tuned to B, B-E-A-D, F sharp, B, something like that. So open chords work. And the tension's just perfect. So 30-inch scale, I would suggest like a Fender 6 or something like that. I'd much rather have baritone strings on it. It's much more use. It doesn't have that. So it's not really a bass anymore because it only goes to B. So it'll be E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. So it's 7 notes short of being a bass, really. But it does have a. It doesn't feel like, see when you get like a down-tuned metal guitar, it doesn't feel like that. Although technically it pretty much is. That sounds just amazing though. Neck pickup. Bending's not so easy. The neck pickups will both pickups on. And face them. It's enormous fun to play. I don't know why this isn't really like a thing. Why is this not a thing? Obviously, saying there, I plugged the holes up in the headstock. This was a 4-string bass. The bridges on this era of bass were just terrible. So This is actually just a Strat hardtail bridge mounted on a piece of metal. And as I said, I put 6 tuners on, plugged it up. I made an arse of. I tried to put a veneer on the top, and the paint went kind of a bit bad. So it's kind of looks wet. It's not. It's just crap. Lacquering. I could maybe take it down and sand it and try it again. Can't be bothered. Or maybe try sanding it at all. Might help. But this is obviously a keeper, yeah. So obviously when you're playing that's an open G chord shape, but it's actually a D. So that's a D, even though it looks like a G. But the thing about that is, see the songs that you all know that are kind of, you know, your. I'm sorry, how do you play Do Ya? It's the same chord, so if you're used to, like, you know, your DAG chord song, it'll just be that, but it'll start in a G, so it'll be. It's just not working because I'm already playing it on this guitar. Actually, now just thinking about it just now, this is what I want. My triple neck flying V, that would make it worth it, wouldn't it? It would. Oh, it's going to look funny though, isn't it? Damn it! I've never finished my triple neck flying V because, well, I finished it, made an arse of it because I didn't know what to do with the third neck. So I've got like a guitar neck and I've got a bass neck now, both fitted. And the third neck, what do you make the third neck out of it? I originally had it as a Nashville tuned guitar, like a telly, and it's like I'm playing a fucking Flying M painted glow in the dark with a vertigo spiral on it. It's like, you can't have a Nashville tuned guitar. It needs to be something else, something that isn't a bass and isn't a guitar, because that's all you need. So something like this would be fantastic. But the 2 necks have to be the same length. It'd have to be a longer neck to take the 30-inch. Oh, I forgot to plug the gig. We're playing a gig on Cranking House, playing a gig in The Vortex in Cumbernauld on Friday night. If anyone's can be bothered coming along, I don't really know what's happening with that band, to be honest. But it sounds great. I mean, it's like, this is the problem I have with the Fender 6. It doesn't sound like this. Okay, it's in normal tuning, so all your chords are, you know, this is an E, whereas on this it's actually a B. Through string. It's not. No, it's just supposed to be top loaded. And these strings on it are absolutely ancient. And why not P90s in it as well? Yeah, so as my warning went earlier on, see when I was talking about the Avon Rose Morris Japan and Avon Rose Morris foreign made in Japan, when I first did this must have been, it was converted to the 6-string a long time ago. It was meant to be an EB6, which and the information that I read when I looked it up, this is after I built the Fender 6, this was meant to be tuned as a baritone. But the last time I did it, I was like, no, they were meant to be tuned to E as well, you know, with like basically a Fender 6 apart from Gibson scale, but that's not going to work. It's like EBOs are pretty difficult anyway with the low tension, whereas tuning it like this is the way to go. Maybe actually even that could make an EBO good. You know, if you took basically the 4 strings here and just put them on a bass, so it's tuned to B, but thin strings, so you get that ringy going on. Yeah, but anyway, so my pal was really impressed with this, and he sent me a picture of a thing on eBay, that pure, what do you think of this? And it was like, pure, it's the same bass as this, the same as this bass, but it said foreign, and I was like, okay, so he's like, pure, can you convert it to a 6-string? So I got it, and I did, but I mean, oh my god, this thing was terrible. It was nothing like this. Even though it looked almost exactly the same, it was absolutely nothing like it. It was, everything was super cheap and crap. The body was plywood, the neck was plywood on its end with a plywood fingerboard. The tuners aren't on this anymore, but it's like, the original tuners in this had like 4 screws holding them on, as you would expect. And this one had what looked like 4 screws holding it on, and it was like, I was trying to turn it. It's not, actually only had 2 screws, and the other 2 screws were fake, and they had plastic buttons on it, and it's like, it was just atrocious. So be very careful of Avon Rose Morris. Also, has to be said with this one, is a shiter, really. I mean, the difference between this and that, both say made in Japan, both from the 70s, both Black Les Paul Customs, is night and day. Like, that's a real guitar. This is not. It was a tenner, but the guy was very reasonable about it. I just took it as a sign from God. I was like, what was that, Piers? No way I could see it. I saw it from miles away. I was like, that's a fucking Avon badge. Because I was saying I wanted to buy an Avon badge. I wasn't paying more than about $5 for it. So I'm looking at it this way. I might be able to save the neck. I see. I mean, it's in quite. It's even still got the model number on the back of it, and a serial number. Serial number 778, model 3403, made in Japan. Yeah, it's like, on paper, someone's trying to sell one of these for 175 quid. But I can tell just by looking at it, it's a shanner, most definitely. After a certain time, Japanese guitars are just phenomenal. Pretty much all of them, and I think that certain time is somewhere before that. Any time after they were like that. So obviously just try to create, and the problem is that that would have been a really cheap guitar, so there's probably lots of them. But I have played lots of earlier 70s Marbutter Flying V. That this thing, it's like there is absolutely no way that anyone who's involved in building this built that piece of crap. You know, it's just there's no way. The person who made this might have made this, because this is actually if you can get one of these in good nick, you will have to change the bridge, because the bridge is one of those ones that's got a stupid bit that falls off. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. It kind of looks like an EBO bridge, but it's just a crap design. So basically, if you can get one of these, like, that says Japan, not foreign, as an EBO, and you buy another bridge for it, it's an Epiphone bridge, any P-bass bridge, something that'll fit, you'll end up with a really decent EBO that's miles better than the Epiphone ones. The Epiphone ones have got better, but they're still not. They're not even pushing the good thing. They're still. And I've got a Gibson EBO, so I know they're miles off. I remember doing a video of this, and it was like I did a comparison of the Fender Music Man and a Mustang and a Bronco, and the Music Man, it's like 70s. It's nice. You can tell just by feeling it that it's ancient. You know, it's from the 70s, and it's kind of it's probably a bit better. You know, it's of a preference, but it doesn't really make any difference. Whereas the Gibson EBO compared to the Epiphone one was pretty good bass, and it's like I'm currently actually trying to Nick, the bass player in Kraken House, I took in that bass. You saw him playing it last week, and after a bit, he just went, "Whoa, this is how much?" And it was like, "No, it's not for sale." But it's like, if I put strings on my EBO, will it sound like this? And it's like, there's too much principle involved, you know. Scale length, P-bass pickup, well built, not short scale mudbucker built by kids. I don't know who builds them. Not somebody who knows how to build a guitar. Put it that way. I wish. You'd think I wish there was a string option that I could have this, right? Basically playing and ringing like this, but tuned to E. I just don't think it's possible. I think once you get the E fat enough to take the scale length with the tensions all right, you're into bass. And on a bass, you can't play chords. Well, you can play chords, as in you can go... There you go, chord, but you can't go... You can't do that on a 6-string bass or on any bass. Like, it's just the frequencies are too low. Some technical stuff. Yeah, so keep your we're on really late at night, so if you're working, so Vortex in Cumbernauld, the 7th, which was Friday night, we actually managed to talk the band into going into the studio beforehand, so we can actually, there's a chance we're going to be all right. We're on last when everyone will be really drunk. The place is hilarious. The Vortex, everyone is just pure steaming. Could be a disaster. Maybe we'll probably make it really live feeling when you just think, oh my god, this could fall to bits at any second. It's like woohoo, woo. You know what I mean? It's like really going to see, I don't know what band famously fell to bits any second. Go to see Bob Dylan. He's either pure amazing or fucking awful. We'll be a bit like that. Anywho, rock on. EB6 baritone, B2B, P90s. Nice guitar. I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to play it in the live stream next week, I think. Because it's too much fun. I get the baritone again sits in that funny zone where the Fender sits. Well, not really. Where the 8-string bass sits, where it's like, alright, you've booked the studio, no one else is turning up, so you're the bass player or the guitarist. It's like, well, do you want to just go in anyway? And you've got like a drummer and a singer and this. It's like, but how do you do this? Do you have this with a guitarist? Or this with a bass player? And it's like, not really, because it's in the middle between the two, but not as good as either. The same as all of these medium things. Actually, this might be really good because it's in B. Oh, this instead of a guitar and someone on a 5-string bass, because then you're going to be in sync. You know, it's like shouting over, it's an E, but it's not really an E. It's an E tuned to B thing. My head's not quick enough to instantly transfer. Oh, this was B, then C. B, yeah. B, A, G. Well, maybe it's not too bad actually. In fact, it's really easy to work because there's your E. So it's the same as a 5-string bass. You just ignore the B string, then all your notes are the same. So that's E, D. No, E. That's E. Rock on. Catch you later.